What in bloody hell is that noise? Ow! Ow! What the devil? Wasps! I knew I should have had the castle fumigated before summer. I suppose it's an appropriate infestation for tonight's film, but this still isn't very convenient. Oh. Don't move. Don't move. Stay perfectly still. Ooh. No. Here, give me a minute. Let me find some Windex or something. Don't go anywhere. There. That's better. Good as new. Alright, now, if only I could just get rid of these damn things. Well, welcome, boys and ghouls, to another episode of Damian's Dreadfuls. As always, I am your ever-so-charming host, Lord Damian MacDonovan. And sadly, it appears that my ancestral home of Castle Donovan is in the midst of an infestation. Now, it's been nearly 300 years since I was back home in either Scotland or Ireland, but I don't remember ever having wasps like this in my childhood. But that's what I get for moving the castle to the countryside of Pennsylvania. You see, I had just absorbed some demonic energies, heightening my vampiric magical powers, and... oh, well, that's a story for another time. Anyway, this could be worse, too. I could be in Japan and have giant hornets the size of my bloody hand. Anyway, for tonight's fare, I'll be bringing to you the 1959 film The Wasp Woman from director Roger Corman. You can imagine the quality of this thing just hearing that name. It's either going to be delightfully macabre or ridiculous schlock. But there's no Vincent Price or Boris Karloff making an appearance tonight, so you can probably guess which one of those two options it's going to be. And it was also only released about a year after The Fly, so, yeah. However, tonight's horrific science experiment has nothing to do with teleportation. This is all about the beauty products. But no amount of shade or contouring is going to fix what's wrong with our main character tonight, though you may want to beat that face to the gods once you've seen it. But before we get into the main attraction tonight, let's take a look at the second chapter of The Phantom Creeps, the 1939 science fiction serial starring legendary Dracula actor Bela Lugosi. This chapter is titled Death Stalks the Highway, and is really more in line with our previous episode, but never mind. Here on Damian's Dreadfuls is The Phantom Creeps. I'll be right back. I'm sorry, that was terrible.
wasn't in my bag when I left the house.
That's the same kind of disc that was found under the plant.
The one the spider went to.
Hey, let me see it, will you? I haven't seen one of those things yet.
Hold on a minute, will you, Jim? I want to send it back to the department. Are you sure you didn't find it and take it as sort of a keepsake?
Why, of course I didn't.
From where the car was found, have you any idea where Dr. Zorka was going?
None whatever.
Jim, what's happened? The clothes are out of order. We have to bail out. What are you doing here? Never mind, bail out.
Get into this chute.
Yes, sir.
This is Zorka. This is Zorka. Faster! Faster! You must get... Stop. Pull over there.
Oh, help me, please. I'm all tangled up.
One moment, madam. Bunk. Help her down.
Our plane crashed.
What plane? Who was in it?
It was a government plane. 2 men and another woman. I'm a reporter. I've got to get to that wreck.
Come. I'm a doctor. I will take you there. Okay, buddy. There's an ambulance on the way.
I'll make a complete report later. Get 30 people away, will you?
All right. Get back. Get back. Come on. Wait a minute. I'm a physician. Okay. Woman is dead.
Captain West, my paper would like an official statement from you.
What were you doing in that plane?
Following you to get a story.
What do you make of him, Doctor?
I find no bodily injuries. The man seemed to be in a coma.
That's right. He collapsed suddenly at the controls.
The ambulance is coming.
Take this girl away.
Come on, lady.
Captain West, I want to know the connection between this plane crash and Dr. Zorka's death. And unless you tell me...
All right, arrest her.
Leave go of me. You can't arrest me without a charge.
Roger was stowing away in a government plane.
Come on.
You can't do this to me.
No, I can't, but he can.
A thorough examination of your pilot, Bailey, convinces me that he's in a state of suspended animation. However, I've made arrangements to have him brought here for further observation.
I've been wondering, Doctor, if one of Zorka's discs could have had something to do with it. I handed Daly one of them on the plane. It's disappeared.
But you saw no spiders, and Dr. Zorka is dead.
But his secrets aren't dead. He might have sold his formula to those foreign agents who were after it.
That still wouldn't explain the presence of the element on the plane. Only Daly and Mrs. Zorka and yourself aboard?
As it happens, there was someone else aboard. Come in, Miss Drew. Dr. Mallory.
How do you do, Miss Drew?
The doctor and I are old friends. Did you check my credentials?
Yes.
Satisfied?
No. We have reason to believe that something was smuggled aboard that plane.
Can I print that?
No, you can't print anything except what I tell you. Is that clear?
You win. Shoot.
The airplane crash was a sequel to the violent death of Dr. Zorka.
Dead. She's really dead. You knew that, Doctor. You saw her. Mallory. And all the so-called scientists who drove me into hiding, they are responsible for her death. They shall pay.
Forget it, Doc. You can sell out to Rankin and his crowd for millions and get out of the country.
No.
Send this message in code to all our allied foreign operators. As a disguise for our spying operations, all code messages henceforth will be sent from our International School of Languages. Rankin, just a minute. Children must always be true. I will send you a letter. Follow our instructions carefully. Have a recording made of that and put it on the air at once.
Yes, sir.
Well, did you get Zorka's formula?
G-Man placed a guard around Zorka's house. We haven't been able to enter it.
You've got to get in, or find Zorka's assistant monk. I'm about to broadcast a recording to our friends in Europe, informing them of Zorka's death.
All right. I'll go myself with some of the men tonight. We may be able to slip past the guard.
Well, see that there are no blunders. All ready?
I'm about to broadcast exercise 47 with code interruptions.
All right, begin.
Was killed in automobile accident yesterday. Please send instructions.
The Dr. Zorka is dead. Inform His Majesty at once.
Is that the harm, Jim?
No, but it may not revive him. This is an antidote that I prepared in anticipation of such an event as this. This is the first opportunity I've had to test the antidote.
No reaction, sir?
No, something is missing. Some essential ingredient that I've failed to hit upon.
Well, how do you propose to find it?
Make another search of Zorka's laboratory.
Well, come on, before someone else beats us to it.
Anything yet, Mac?
Nah, ain't nobody gonna hang around a spooky old dump like this.
The place is guarded. I can't reach the secret entrance.
What's that? Wind, I guess.
Never mind the guards. If they stop you, I will be there to help.
Come on. Back to the house.
Get inside.
What's wrong? I stopped the guy that was prowling around here, and something hit him from behind, and he got away.
Oh, something hit you from behind, huh? Better not tell Captain West that kind of a yarn.
I told you there's something queer about this place.
Draw the curtain. Set the sound detector. You must remove all the spiders and discs. In case Mallory searches this place again. Mallory came into possession of those discs. You might be able to derive an antidote from it, which would nullify the effect of these spiders.
An antidote from this? He must be pretty good.
In the scientific world, he's second only to myself.
Why not put one of your spiders after him?
His time has not yet come. First, he must see my triumph. After that...
Look out, man! The spider! Put that disc away, you idiot!
You want one of my little pets to sting you? I'm all ready. Get the roper to open the door.
Someone in the house. Put those things away.
My desire man will take care of the intruder.
Any trouble, Max? Yes, sir.
Just the prowler, sir. We drove him off.
I must not show my power until I'm ready to strike.
Turn off the light.
All right, Captain, as long as you didn't get inside. Let's look the place over.
The secret entrance. Let's go. Do you forget the guard?
our way out the front.
Stop, you fool!
Stay on guard.
Is he dead?
No, just stunned. I wanted him alive.
There it goes.
My car's back there in the tree.
Take West's car and follow.
There it is.
The driver is gone or he's hiding. You stay here.
Welcome back, my little crypt kickers. That was the second chapter of the Phantom Creep serial starring Bela Lugosi. If you're just tuning in now, well, that's too bad. DVR it, or TiVo. I'm glad we got some Lugosi in tonight, though, because despite the subject of tonight's feature film, it doesn't really have much dramatic sting. Ow! Bloody wasps. Wait a minute. I'm a freaking vampire. These things shouldn't be able to hurt me. What the hell is going on? Alright. I'm just going to try to catch one of these things alive, if you don't mind. But in the meantime, let's get down to business.
To defeat the
hunt. Where was I? Oh yes. The Wasp Woman was originally released in 1959 and was directed and produced by Roger Corman. It was also released as part of a double feature alongside The Beast from Haunted Cave, a film by Roger's brother Gene. Its original runtime was only 63 minutes. which is the version we'll be showing tonight. When it was optioned for TV 3 years later, director Jack Hill added a 12-minute prologue to fill time. But thanks to Lugosi and the Phantom Creeps, we have no need of that nonsense tonight. Yes. The Wasp Woman features Anthony Isley, Michael Mark, Barbara Morris, and of course, Susan Cabot as the titular creature. Cabot plays Janice Starling, the CEO of a popular cosmetics company whose sales have started to slump after the public realizes that her age is starting to show. Typical. There is nothing less marketable than an aging queen bee. Wasp. Whatever. Even I'm going to have this problem eventually. It's taken me about 300 years to age 6 or 7. Can't tell, I've lost my track. And I've lost my train of thought as well, apparently. Where was I? Oh yes! In an attempt to keep her youthful looks and boost company sales, Starling contracts scientists who have been experimenting with wasp royal jelly in order to reverse the aging process. But volunteering as the test subject for these new treatments will have horrific effect on Starling. For though she may shed years, she will undergo occasional transformations into the hideous and murderous Wasp Woman, right here on Damian's Dreadfuls. Let's take a look. Oh, and while you do that, I am going to take a closer look at you, you little pain in the... Ow!
As you can see, gentlemen, sales for the last fiscal quarter have dropped 14.5%. There has not been a corresponding drop in our competitor sales. I trust one of you gentlemen has a satisfactory explanation for this decline. Not one little suggestion, gentlemen. We'll start with you, Thompson. As public relations manager, no doubt you have some faint glimmering of what's happening to Starlin products. Well, Thompson?
Well, you see, I
had no idea you were such an excellent public speaker, Thompson.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Starlin. I guess I'm not feeling very well this morning.
I'm sorry you aren't.
I think I can tell you why Starlin products are falling off so badly, Miss Starlin.
We're listening, Lane. Where would you put the responsibility for this decline?
On you, Miss Starlin.
I imagine you have arguments to support that contention.
We've all been looking at it for the past 20 minutes. The most convincing argument is right on that graph. May I show you? Thank you. Now, right here in April is when Starlin sales started falling off.
Very clever of you, Lane.
Would you mind waiting until I finish, Miss Starlin?
That's enough, Lane.
Relax, Willis. My apologies for the interruption. Go on.
Thank you. Now, as I said, sales began to fall in April. But the reason for the fall was back here in February. The Starlin products have always been thought of as something of a modern miracle in the cosmetics trade. The firm built to a multi-million-dollar-a-year business on the strength and appeal of one person, Janice Starlin. From the beginning, right through until February of this year, only one woman's face was used to advertise those products. Your face, Miss Starlin. The public have come to accept you as a symbol. Well, now, after 16 years, they see a different face. They don't trust it. They feel cheated. The simple fact is that Starlin Cosmetics should have Janice Starlin's picture advertising them. Well, that's about all I've got to say.
A darn good job of saying it, too.
I agree. Lane makes a lot of sense on that score, Miss Starlin.
I think I've had enough flattery for one morning, gentlemen. It was a very convincing argument, Lane.
There's a Mr. Zimthorpe to see the star.
There's only one small factor you've overlooked. Not even Janice Starlin can remain a glamour girl forever.
Miss Starlin,
Yes, Mary.
there's a Mr. Zimthorpe in reception. He says he has an appointment.
Thank you. Well, this has been a very informative get-together. That'll be all for now. Oh, Arthur,
Yes, Miss Starlin.
I'd like to see you in my office, please.
Sure, Miss Starlin. Take it easy, hotshot. Something on your mind, Miss Starlin?
You've done some work on royal jelly, haven't you?
A little.
Are there any real therapeutic values in it?
Well, I'd say so. Of course, a lot depends on each individual's reaction to the stuff.
What do you mean?
It's just that no two people react in precisely the same way. One man's meat's another man's poison.
Oh. But you think royal jelly can be beneficial in some cases?
Queen bees set a lot of store by it.
I'll accept that as an affirmative answer. Supposing a more powerful form of royal jelly could be obtained. From the queen wasp, for example. I mean, well, do you suppose that might have some rejuvenating effect on a human being?
I'd stay away from wasps if I were you, Miss Starlin. Socially, the queen wasp is on a level with a black widow spider. They're both carnivorous. They paralyze their victims and then take their time devouring them alive. They kill their mates in the same way, too. Strictly a one-sided romance.
Well, I'm not exactly interested in the love life of the queen wasp. I want your opinion on the possibilities of using enzyme extracts from royal wasp jelly, commercially.
Well, if you want an honest opinion, Miss Starlin,
Of course I want an honest opinion.
then my advice is forget about it.
Thank you, Arthur.
Anytime, Miss Starlin.
Have Mr. Zimthorpe come in.
Yes, Miss Starlin. You can go in now, sir.
Oh. About time.
Janice Starlin Enterprises.
Miss Starlin?
Yes. How do you do? I'm afraid I won't be able to give you much time, Mr. Zimthorpe.
But it is I who give you the time, Miss Starlin. Oh, yes. Plenty of time I give you. 10, maybe 15 years I give you.
I want you to understand one thing very clearly, Mr. Zimthorpe. I expect absolute proof of what you claimed in your letter. Tangible proof, not words.
Such proof you shall get, madame, and more. But I think I better show you in the laboratory, yes?
All right. Come on. They look terrible. Why don't you put them out of their misery?
Madame, you ask for proof. Please be kind enough to look at proof you ask for. May I proceed? Thank you. Come, little turkey. In a few minutes, madame, you shall see a miracle you shall not believe. Oh, no tricks. You may look if you like. I have no tricks. Well, don't look at me. I'm not changing.
Don't believe it. It's not possible.
I see you do not believe one animal, so I bring two. I show you again, yes?
Yes, I must be sure.
Yes, madame. Well, Miss Darling, does my secret have interest for you, yes?
What are your terms, Mr. Zinthrop?
First, I must have a laboratory equipped with everything I need for my research. If we're successful, well, I ask for a little percentage. But I must get full credit for my discovery. That is most important to me.
I'll have Gordon draw up the contracts.
Oh, contracts. Contracts I do not need. You give me your word. Good enough for me.
You amaze me. Frankly, when I received your letter, I thought you were just another eccentric. But there was always a chance you might not be. Then you walk in here and show me nothing short of a miracle. 2 miracles. And you say that you'll accept my word that I won't cheat you.
You won't. I know you're a good woman, even if you do not like other people to know it. However, my formula may not be good for human beings. I have not tested yet.
You will on me.
Oh, no. There might be danger.
Those are my terms, Mr. Zinthrop. Janice Starlin will be your next guinea pig.
Very well. Though it may take a little time to prepare sufficient extract. A week, maybe more.
I'll make whatever arrangements you may need for your equipment.
Thank you, madame. Now I see how you built all this.
I'm very close to losing it, Mr. Zinthrop. Maybe working together we can save Janice Starlin Enterprises. Maybe even make it bigger than ever before.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I'm sure the next 3 months we'll see a rise in Starlin sales that will surpass anything we've dared imagine. Mr. Zinthrop is working on the final stages of the development that will revolutionize the cosmetic industry. He's to have a free hand in his experiments and will be answerable to no one but myself. At the moment, I cannot divulge the nature of Mr. Zinthrop's experiments, but I can assure you it will bring worldwide recognition to Janice Starlin Enterprises.
be the granddaddy of all confidence men to take in a gal like Starlin. Why doesn't somebody wise her up?
Like you, for instance? Phil, what makes you think Zinthrop really isn't on the level? After all, we don't even know what he's working on. It could be very legitimate.
You're as bad as she is. Oh, women.
Men. Every time you're stuck to an answer, you always come up with women. You're not getting out of this one so easily. I'd like to know why you think Zinthrop really hasn't got something.
Well, you can call it male intuition if you like. It's just that there's something about this whole business that doesn't smell right. The private laboratory, the secret experiments, Zinthrop himself. The only thing that's missing is a genie with a lamp.
You better leave the intuition to me. Come on, I'll let you buy me dinner.
Buy you dinner? What's happened to your sporting blood? I thought we were going to toss for the check.
Oh, no. You won the last 3 times.
All right, look, I'll make a deal with you. Dinner is on me if you promise to keep an eye on what goes on in there.
What do you want me to do? Read her mail and send you messages in secret code?
You could do worse.
Oh, no, Mr. Cooper, not you, too.
I've been trying to tell Bright Eyes here that I think Zinthrop is a phony and a confidence man.
If I were sure of that, I wouldn't be worried. I think he's a lot more dangerous. A quack.
Well, I don't follow you, Coop.
Well, a confidence man would just be interested in your money. The only damage they can do is to your pocketbook. A quack can be fatal.
So I says to him, I says, listen, Ivy, I'm getting sick of this TV every night. I mean, you know, we can do the same thing in a nightclub. Well, almost. Good morning. Janice Starlin Enterprises. I got 2 words for you. Drop dead. Twice. Irving? Calls me to tell me Dr. Cyclops is on Channel 9 tonight. What crust? You've seen it twice already.
Good morning. Is Miss Darlin in her office now?
Miss Starlin's in conference. Would you like to speak to her secretary?
Oh, no. Just say to Miss Darlin I should like to see her when she has time, huh?
Yes. Was there something else, Mr. Zinthrop?
No. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye. What a character. A regular 2-eyed Dr. Cyclops. Even the bow.
Good morning. May I see Miss Zardling, please? He's a real weirdie. Wonder what his game is.
Who cares?
You know, Morton thinks he's a crackpot. I heard him telling Cooper so. Old Bug Eyes really has the execs worried.
About what?
That's just it. They don't know.
Oh. So anyway, back to Irving.
Good morning, Miss Darling. Good morning.
Good morning. I couldn't get away any sooner. Is it important?
Miss Darlin, do you remember the big cat I showed you last week? No?
What about it?
Well, I want you to look at him. Come.
No.
Quite a difference, yes?
That's incredible. The same mark.
A cat.
You're young again. Can you realize what that means? You're a kitten again. Your whole life to live over. How does it feel?
I think perhaps you'll be able to find out for yourself, Miss Darling. Today will be your first injection. Come.
What is it, Gleason? I sent you a memo. Mr. Zinthrop has carte blanche to order anything he requires. It is no concern of yours, Gleason. Make out a check for the full amount.
Sue? Mary. Can I talk to Mr. Lane a minute? Bill? Hey, listen. Gleason just got a bill for $2,300. Zinthrop. Enzyme extract.
All right, you insidious insect. Let's see if we can identify your species. That's odd. Oh, hello again, creeps. I didn't see you come back. I finally managed to pin down one of these little buggers. If I can properly identify it, I might have a better idea of how to deal with it. It's a very unusual and yet strangely familiar specimen. But these bugs aren't the only thing that should be familiar about tonight's episode. You might have recognized the music playing for the movie. If you keep up with my show, you've definitely heard it before. Yes, the score of tonight's film was once again composed by Roger Corman collaborator Fred Katz. And I know I've mentioned in previous episodes how Katz tended to write one score and then sell it to Corman over and over again as though it was something different. The Wasp Woman is no exception. The music for tonight's movie was originally written for Corman's film A Becker of Blood, and was also used for The Little Shop of Horrors, one of our previous episodes. I've no doubt that you'll hear it again, as many old Corman films are in public domain, free for me to show, and he did use this particular soundtrack 7 times. So it can be a little confusing, keeping them all in order. And of course, the music isn't the only thing that might be familiar. You may have noticed that the Wasp Woman herself bears a considerable resemblance to another famous film insect. The Fly, starring Vincent Price and David Hidison, was released only a year prior to this feature. And much like that movie's creature, our monster tonight only has the head of the titular creepy crawly. Contrast this with the poster in the artwork for the film, though, where we're given the exact opposite impression. That of a giant wasp with the head of a beautiful lady. I mean, that's just false advertising right there. And this specimen is certainly giving off some odd impressions as well. The antennae are almost like horns, and the wings are almost resemble like those of a bat. Wait a second, I know I'd seen these somewhere before. You know, I think I encountered wasps like this on my trek through hell in the late 1700s. Long story, but let's just say I didn't make any friends on my trip. So, someone has either released these things accidentally, or intentionally set them loose in the castle. Well, while I look through my books to see how to deal with these things, I'm gonna let you get back to the movie.
Yes, we are making progress. There's great improvement in the tissue.
Why is it taking so long? It's the 3rd week.
You forget, my dear, there's more to you than a little kitten, no? Besides, there's a difference in metabolism.
Why not increase the dosage? Wouldn't that step up the process?
Patience, my dear, patience. You must tread lightly, with care. Your arm, please. You know, I've been experimenting with a concentrated solution of the enzymes. Oh, a great deal more powerful than the solution I've been using in your injection.
Oh?
Yes. And I think it will be better for lotions, as an emollient lotion. It'll make estrogenic creams and all such products old-fashioned. My dear, Stalin will be world famous, bringing you to millions.
You're right, Zinthrop. There are going to be a few red faces in my advertising department.
But I am right. Why, your own mirror will tell you that I am right. Why, you look at least 5 years younger than you looked 3 weeks ago.
I know.
Will you let me talk to Bill a minute, Sue? Thanks. Bill, I think I've got it. Yeah, I'm a nervous wreck. At lunch.
You'll have to translate for me, Coop. I'm not very good at that technical stuff.
Pseudo-technical. Mr. Zinthrop is a very capable confidence man from what I read in this letter. He claims he can stimulate the processes of rejuvenation through the use of enzymes extracted from wasps.
Oh, for...
Well, what are you two Sherlocks going to do about it?
Right now, I don't know.
Frankly, I'm getting tired of the whole business. That woman's so intent on holding back time, she's ready to fall for the first phony line she hears. Wasps.
Bill.
Face the facts, Mary. Janice Starland has built her whole life on youth and beauty. Now that she's losing them, she's scared to death. Well, right now, she's on cloud 9 with that quack Zinthrop that I'd hate to be around when she comes back down to earth.
Well, maybe we can let her down easy. I think we owe her that much.
Yeah. Well, what are we going to do? We can't just let Zinthrop build up her hopes and then knock the props out from under her.
How can he do such a terrible thing? Poor Jan. There must be something we can do before it's too late.
He's got a mighty convincing argument. Very impressive to the layman. 10 to 1, he's got a record just as impressive. Well, there are ways to find out. The answer might be right here in our hands. Heads. I'm going to keep this letter for a day or two.
Wait a minute. Suppose she finds out it's gone. I'm the only one with access to that desk. She'll know I took it.
Well, that's a chance you have to take, Mary.
I think we can be pretty sure that Coop knows what he's doing, honey.
Oh, come on, young lovers.
What is it, Maureen?
It is you, Miss Darling.
Of course it's me. Who did you think it was?
You look so different.
Finish your nails. Maureen.
Hmm?
I think your phone is ringing.
Oh, yes, Miss Darling. Good morning. Janice Darling Enterprises.
Gentlemen, Janice Darlin Enterprises is about to start on the most widespread publicity campaign in the history of the cosmetic industry. Our slogan will be, Return to Youth with Janice Darlin. When Mr. Winthrop arrives, there will be a press interview, and all questions regarding the rejuvenation process will be referred to him. That'll be all for now, gentlemen.
It's amazing.
Why, it's wonderful. You look marvelous.
I said that will be all for now, gentlemen. Good morning. Oh, not you, Mary. Wait a moment, please.
Yes, Miss Darling.
Mary, isn't it wonderful? It's a miracle. A wonderful, incredible miracle.
We were so worried about you. We really thought you were in danger. We even went to plotting how to rescue you from Mr. Winthrop. It all seems so silly. It seems ridiculous.
Oh, Mary. Mary, how old do I look? Tell me. How old? How old do I look? Tell me. How old?
23, maybe 22.
That's how old I was when I started Janice Darlin Enterprises. Do you realize what that means? I'm back where I started, 18 years ago, with what it took 18 years to accomplish. It's like a dream.
A bunch of quacks were treating people with monkey glands. Seemed to work for a while. And then the deterioration set in.
That's awful. Do you think that will happen to Jan?
I don't know. If I could just get inside of his lab and run a breakdown on what he's using.
I don't care what it costs.
We'll find him, all right. Sooner or later, we find them all.
Time is vital, Mr. Hellman. Every hour he's gone, it means more than you can possibly imagine.
Well, you haven't given me very much to go on. No home address, no former employer, no phone. This is just like starting from scratch.
Mr. Zinthrop wasn't a conventional employee. He didn't go through regular personnel.
Uh-huh. You say he came here about a month ago. Well, how did he come here, Miss Starlin? He just didn't walk in off the street, did he?
The letter. Right here in my drawer.
Maybe, one of the other drawers.
So that's what she meant.
What who meant? Miss Starlin. The letter's been taken, and you think you know who took it, is that right?
My secretary, Miss Dennison.
You got her address handy?
Her phone number.
It might be better if I busted in on her cold. This way she'll have a chance to prepare a story.
I know what I'm doing.
All right.
Mary? Janice Starlin.
But before I went to lunch, I made a duplicate copy of Mr. Zinthrop's letter. I was going to take that one to Bill and Mr. Cooper at first, but then I thought that the original would be better.
Have you got the copy?
Yes, it's in my desk.
Get that copy, Miss Dennison.
946 West 73rd Street, Manhattan. Yeah, that's right. Get right on it, Jerry, and check back with me as soon as you can.
We thought Mr. Zinthrop might be trying to work some kind of a confidence scheme on you, Miss Starlin. We only did that to protect you. I'm terribly sorry.
That's all right, Mary. I probably would have done the same thing if I were in your place.
If it's all right with you, Miss Starlin, I'd like to have that Lane and Cooper down here. They might have come up with something that Miss Dennison doesn't know about.
You're right. We can't afford to overlook anything.
Shall I call him?
Please, Mary.
Yeah. Oh. You're sure he's our boy? Uh-huh.
Is he?
Central emergency. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, it looks like we've got him. There's a John Doe down at Central Emergency, auto accident. There's no identification on him, but he was wearing a lab smock and filled Zinthrop's description.
Mary, get my coat and Lane, get a cab downstairs. Is he badly hurt?
Head injury, general contusion to the body.
He's had a severe injury, and there's definite brain damage. Just how much, we can't tell as yet.
How long before you'll know?
It's hard to say, Miss Starling.
Who's the best man for this kind of injury?
Well, there's several top specialists.
Get the best. I'll take full responsibility for the expenses.
Yes, Miss Starling.
Oh, welcome back, my little crypt kickers. I'm just looking through my books to find out more information on any demons associated with insects. Well, let's see what I've got in here now. Let's see, we've got Nergal. No, that's flies. Beelzebub? Well, that one's pretty obvious. Let's see here, Brahmari Devi. No, that's bees again. Let's see, what is this? Tsuchigumo. The giant earth spider. Nope. Pazuzu! No, that's locust. Oh, that reminds me. Let me give a quick shout out to my old friend Colin Peters, who so graciously invited me on as a guest for his new podcast. Link below and in the credits. We had a wonderful time talking about the classic horror of all horrors, The Exorcist. So my consistent use and pronunciation of Pazuzu is now just going to be a little joke between us guys. That one's just for you, Jeff. Pazuzu! Alright, that's enough of that. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, it's easy to lose track sometimes while doing this. Unfortunately, tonight's film tends to get lost in the shuffle of cult classics as well, though it certainly has had its share of influence. While it may only have a 45% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and even TV Guide called the film laughably bad, the Wasp Woman continues to pop up here and there in pop culture. Mr. Lobo showed the program on his show Cinema Insomnia, and clips of it can actually be seen in an episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog. During the Night of the Weremoles episode, it's on a TV in the background, and Muriel comments that it's her favorite show. It's also had 2 remakes. One was the official remake, produced by Roger Corman for his 1995 television series Roger Corman Presents. And the other isn't really a direct remake, but it's clearly the same film. The 1998 film Rejuvenatrix, or The Rejuvenator, follows the same plot. Its main character doesn't turn into a wasp, but it's the same premise and story all the same. Well, I'm going to let you get back to the film now. I still have some research to do. Where was I? Oh yes! Pazuzu! Yeah.
I don't know, Arthur. I think it best we wait.
It's been 3 days since the accident, Jan. And no sign of improvement. He's still in a coma. You heard what the doctor said. He may never regain consciousness. And even if he does, who knows how badly his brain has been damaged.
Well, I'll give it another 48 hours. If he doesn't regain consciousness by then, well, you can take over the laboratory, Arthur.
Janet.
It's my decision.
Incredible. Right in front of our noses. I can't have used it all. I could run a qualitative analysis.
news goes on a fritz right in the middle of a good program.
I want this to be the biggest advertising campaign in the history of cosmetic advertising. Every newspaper and magazine in the country will be flooded with our new slogan, Return to Youth with Janice Darlin.
Excuse me, Miss Darlin.
What is it, Thompson?
I think we should be a little conservative, Miss Darlin. Cosmetics are one thing, medications another. We're liable to run into trouble.
Yes. All advertising copy will be cleared through your office.
Well, it's a touchy business, you know.
Max is right, Miss Darlin.
You don't have to second the motion, Lane. I want one thing understood very clearly now, gentlemen. Janice Darlin Enterprises is going to bring the most fantastically saleable product ever developed by modern cosmetics to the public. And I don't intend to be restricted by timidity on the part of my own staff. Is that clear? Are you all right, Miss Darlin? Just a little headache, Mary. I'm fine.
Can I get you something?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Thank you.
I have some aspirin in my purse.
It's all right, Mary. Well, that'll be all for now, gentlemen.
Hi. Hi, sweetie. Gee, I sure hope they give the girls working at Starlin first crack at that new stuff. Imagine being 18 again. I guess if it can take 15 years off Starlin, it can take 10 off you. What do you mean 10? Face it, honey. This is Maureen you're talking to. Yeah? Well, if I were you, I'd take a double dose. Then maybe Irving wouldn't watch television so much. So who says he looks at it? I can't imagine what else he does. Free guesses. Say, did Cooper come in yet? Mm-mm. Missed a board meeting this morning. I bet Starlin's having a fit. He should worry. Uh-oh. See you later. Bye, honey.
Hi, pretty puss. You know where, Miss Darlin's office is?
Suite number 1.
La-dee-da, the Duchess of Flatbush herself.
How'd you like to have this phone wrapped around your ear, wise guy?
It's more like it, sister. Suite number 1.
Thank you. Miss Darlin. Oh, what is it, Mary?
Is there anything I can do?
Yes. Is Mr. Zinthrop's room ready?
Uh-huh. The nurse is fixing the emergency equipment now, and the ambulance is due any minute.
Be sure to let me know when it arrives. Oh, Mary, please, before you go, could you see if you could work that thing?
Oh, sure. I've seen lots of these.
Oh, simple enough. That'll be all, Mary. Thank you. We've had a room especially made over for you, Mr. Zinthrop, and Miss Warren has a room adjoining yours, so there'll be someone near you at all times.
Thank you. Thank you.
When you're feeling better, Mr. Zinthrop, there are a few things I'd like to discuss with you.
Good, good.
We'll do everything we can to make you comfortable, Mr. Zinthrop. I going to nights here in my office. So if anything develops, I'll be on hand.
Thank you. Thank you. Stop. Only there's something. I must tell you something important. But I cannot remember.
I'm sure it can wait. Right now, the main thing is to get you back to health. Take good care of him, Miss Warren.
Yes, Miss Darling.
Sure is funny about old Coop.
You miss his one day of work and you're ready to call missing person.
Well, he's a pretty conscientious guy, honey. If he felt sick or something, he'd have called in.
Relax. He'll probably be in bright and chipper in the morning.
Interrupting something?
Oh, we were just having a little coffee clutch, Miss Starlin. We were talking about Mr. Cooper.
What about Mr. Cooper?
Well, about his missing the meeting this morning. Nobody's been able to reach him all day.
I wouldn't worry about that. Mr. Cooper's been here a long time. Probably feels he's entitled to take a day for himself now and then.
That's what I've been trying to tell Mr. Lane.
Oh, by the way, Miss Starlin, how is Mr. Zinthrop?
Oh, fine. In a few days, we'll start the layouts for the campaign.
Oh, I'm ready when you are, boss.
Look those over.
Hey, Bill.
Huh?
Don't go getting any ideas about the boss.
Well, me? Don't be silly. I just wanted to know that I'm an eager member of the team. Still, she is looking a lot younger these days, isn't she? You think Zinthrop would give you any of those treatments? You know, break the watch or something?
Guarantino, there's two.
Lie back now. You just had a bad dream. Lie down now. Go to sleep.
Such horrible sound. Like a nightmare.
It's a bad dream. Lie down. Just a dream.
Tell Mr. Green that personnel is his responsibility. I have other things to think about than worrying whether the night watchman walked off the job.
Well, that's just it, Miss Starlin. Mr. Green feels that the watchman never left the building. His lunch pail and his raincoat are still in the basement.
I don't want to hear anything more about it, Mary.
All right, Miss Starlin.
We'll use these.
Oh, fine.
She swears she heard a scream from one of the other floors. Zinthrop heard it too, but she convinced him he was having a bad dream.
Oh, maybe they both were.
That's not funny anymore, Mary. There's something going on in that building. And I'm going to find out what it is.
How?
Have a look around Cooper's lab, for one thing. After that, I don't know.
Hold it steady.
Bill, this is crazy. We can really get in trouble.
I won't tire him, Miss Warren, but it is important.
All right, Miss Darlin. I'll be in my room.
Zinthrop. Zinthrop, you've got to help me. Something's happening. Something's happening to me. I can't control it.
There is something I must remember, but I can't.
Try to think. The wasp enzymes. The extracts you were experimenting with before the accident. Try to think.
Well, this is Zinthrop's notebook, Mary. Notes on his experiments with Jan.
Well, how did Cooper get hold of it?
I don't know. If only Coop would show up. Mary, look.
It's Mr. Cooper's pipe.
Don't you get it? He's going to go out without his pants and leave that pipe behind. He's still somewhere in the building. I bet a year's salary on it.
If he is.
He's dead. And the night watchman.
There's only enough left for one more injection. One more. You've got to make more, Zinthrop. Help me, Zinthrop.
Please, my head. Oh, my head.
Zinthrop, help me!
Oh,
Help me!
Is he asleep?
I don't know.
No, don't touch him.
If anybody knows what's behind all this, it's him. Mr. Zinthrop.
Bill. Look at...
Her coat, purse, and everything else are still in there. She wouldn't go out without her purse.
Bill, let's get out of here. I don't like it.
The cat. The cat. Must warn her.
Mr. Zinthrop.
Who are you?
Well, there's nothing to be alarmed about, Mr. Zinthrop. I'm Bill Lane, and this is Miss Dennison, Miss Starlin's secretary.
Miss Starlin. The cat.
What about a cat?
Must warn her. Injections. Must not take any more injections.
Is Miss Darlin in danger?
Terrible danger. I must...
Take it easy, Mr. Zinthrop. You're still pretty weak. Mary, see if you can get Jan on the phone.
All right. All right.
There's no answer.
Oh, Miss Darlin? Is that you, Mary?
We're in the building.
We're in Mr. Zinthrop's room.
Something's happened down
Here,
here.
let me talk to her. Hello, Miss Starlin. This is Lane.
Why are you and Mary still in the building?
I must help. I'm
Don't let me get up,
responsible.
Mary.
I must help. I must not
I
hold
can't
me
explain
back.
now, Miss Starlin.
I must go.
Hang on to her.
I must help. You must not hold me back.
Don't worry, Mr. Zinthrop. We won't let anything happen to Miss Darlin.
Hello. Hello, Miss Starlin.
What's going on down there?
Stay in your office. I'll be right up. Keep an eye on Zinthrop, honey. I'm going upstairs.
Oh, no. The insects. The insects.
Take it easy, Mr. Zinthrop.
You do not understand. Miss Darling, she's in danger. I must warn her.
Look, I'll have to stay here. You go for Jan. Okay. When you get up there, call the police. You can't get outside on this phone.
All right, I'll hurry.
Not the police. No, the police.
call the police.
What for?
Look, I don't have time to...
Mary! I'm sorry I had to do that. There's no time for hysteria. Now, what is this?
The enzymes. The enzymes, they've gone crazy.
Sure, Mr. Zinthrop. Now, you just relax and take it easy. Everything will be all right. We'll take care of those, whatever
You do not
call them.
understand. You do not understand that girl. You shouldn't have sent her upstairs. She's in danger. You must stop her before it is too late.
Okay, as soon as the cops get here, we'll take her.
Oh, you fool, you fool. Miss Darling will kill her and tear her body to shreds.
Miss Starlin, kill Mary?
Miss Darling is not a human being any longer. The enzymes have changed her. She will destroy the girl as a female wasp would destroy her enemies, and then devour the remains.
Then Bill found Mr. Zinthrup's notebook in Cooper's desk. No, there's no mistake. We've got to call the police now.
Now, Mary, you're just getting a little excited. Now, who could possibly want to hurt Mr. Cooper?
I don't know. But it's not only Mr. Cooper. What about...
Mary! Wait! I go with you.
I can't wait. I'm going to take the stairs.
Oh, look! Laboratory. She's gone to laboratory.
Get up the stairs fast.
Mary!
Oh, there you are, boys and ghouls. Is the movie over? Fantastic. And just in time, too. I think I've got our little problem under control here now. Since it turns out that our wasp infestation was semi-demonic, I took more of an exorcism approach to it. Smoking the little buggers, much like beekeepers do, seems to be our best bet. So long as we smoke them with some white sage, anyway. Oh, I hate the smell of this stuff, partially because of my own vampiric aversion to it, but I've also always thought that it smells a bit more like someone is smoking something else, if you know what I mean. Well, there'll be no puff puff pass going on here tonight, though. At least, the only buzzing I hear now is the cartoonish sound of insects snoring. Hopefully, this will last long enough for me to actually sweep all of these winged fiends into a pile and dispose of properly. This should be the last time I have to deal with them. Incidentally, this is also the last time that our star tonight, Susan Cabot, would appear on the big screen, and I can't say that I blame her after everything she went through, particularly after that last scene. The bottle of acid thrown at her was filled with water, and was heavy enough to nearly knock her teeth out even through the prosthetic. On top of that, the smoke used for the acid effect choked her, and after falling through the window to her demise, unable to breathe, she tore the makeup off so quickly that she took skin and hair with it and left a large purple mark on her neck. She wouldn't appear again on camera until the 1970, with a small role in an episode of an obscure TV show. Well, I think that just about does it for me tonight. I'm going to get a broom and a fan and clear out both this smoke and the sinister hive. Now, where did I put that fan anyway? Ah, there we are. Now, what do we do to both haters and demonic insects? Yes. Well, balls and ghouls, thank you for joining me for another episode of Damien's Dreadfuls. I have been your ever so charming host, Lord Damian MacDonovan. Have a ghastly evening.